So I played through Chapter 1 of Trek to Yomi on normal difficulty, and I came away with a pretty clear sense of what this game is trying to be. This game looks fantastic. Let's start with the visuals, because that's the obvious headline. Everything feels smooth, cinematic, and very intentionally framed. It's clear the developers put a tremendous amount of love into the presentation. The black and white aesthetic isn't just a gimmick, it genuinely elevates the experience. I also really appreciated that the voice acting is entirely in Japanese. I'm usually a subs over dubs kind of person when it comes to foreign media, so that choice felt authentic and immersive. I don't speak any Japanese, but the whole atmosphere, it's just kind of hard to describe and very easy to feel. It just feels authentic and immersive. I remember there was a point where my character was going through some kind of bar or something like that. I was overcome with this feeling like I'm here right now. And it was just, it's a cool feeling, I have to say. And this game just portrays that in many different situations, at least in what I've played so far. Now, combat. Combat is serviceable. There were definitely moments where it felt clunky to me. I occasionally felt locked into animations, and sometimes the controls felt just slightly off. Not by much, maybe milliseconds, but enough that it matters in a sword fighting game. When timing is everything, even a few milliseconds can make the difference between a clean parry and taking damage. And indeed, I did take damage so many times when I was trying to parry, and I died many times, which is like okay for me to die, you know, several times, but I felt like I was dying because the controls were like kind of a little bit late, and I had to compensate for that. That said, despite the friction, I still felt the combat was fairly fun. I've truly felt that way. It's methodical rather than flashy, and once you adjust to the rhythm, it does kind of start to click, and it did. One thing I really appreciated in this game was the lack of hand-holding. I know people that have watched some of my previous reviews will probably think I'm lying about that, but I do actually appreciate the lack of hand-holding. The game is largely linear, but it doesn't constantly shove waypoints or objective markers in your face. It just teaches you the mechanics and it lets you kind of move forward at your own pace. The game is, I want to call it 3D. I really do. Like, some games are 2.5D and they feel really more like 2D. This game is sort of 2.5D and it really closer to 3D. I might even just describe this as a 3D game. I remember one point pretty close to the beginning of the game, right after you learn the controls and everything, the point where you're running out of this place, dojo, I don't know what it is, and you're running through with your little girlfriend, and you're trying to find this guy, alright? You're trying to find the samurai who was teaching you. You're running through the streets of this town. It's an actual 3D experience, but when it comes to fighting, it turns into kind of like a 2D thing. It's not like the 3D Mortal Kombat games where you could like kind of rotate around your opponent. It's not that. It's like the good 3D Mortal Kombat games where you are basically playing in 2D with 3D models. So it's 2.5D, but closer to 3D. However, the design philosophy with lack of hand-holding did backfire a tiny bit during the Chapter 1 boss fight. I'll be honest, I wasn't entirely sure what I did to finally defeat him. I was thinking I maybe had to wait until he got tired or wait until he taunted me or whatever, and I just couldn't land a single hit on him. When I finally landed a hit on him, I wasn't sure how I did that, and one hit killed him. So I don't know what I did. And a bit more clarity in that moment would have gone a long way, but still, I did eventually get through it, and there's something satisfying about that kind of trial and error progression. Technically speaking, I had no compatibility issues on Linux at all, which is always a plus for me. If I had to describe the overall feeling of this game, it reminds me a little bit of Limbo or even Braid. There's just something charming about the structure of the game, the way that it feels to play it. It's like focused and it's deliberate, and it's just, I can't help but be reminded of those two games. It's a great feeling. As for value, the game is $20 when not on sale. For what it appears to be so far, that might feel slightly steep to some. I would still moderately recommend it because it's clear that the devs put a lot of love into this game. Sometimes it goes on sale, and if it goes on sale, I think I bought this at half price. I think I bought it for $10. For that price, I don't see how I couldn't recommend this. I remember when I first bought Braid for the Xbox 360, I'm old, it was $15 and I had a really hard time justifying that price, but I played through Braid and it was absolutely amazing. I'm like, man, $15 feels like a steal. So Trek to Yomi, I can easily see it feeling like a steal even at $20, but at half price, I can't not recommend it for that price. I definitely would want to recommend this game, especially if you're someone who values atmosphere, presentation, cinematic experience over razor-sharp mechanical precision, which is something that it seems to get wrong sometimes. But after just one chapter, I'm intrigued enough to want to keep playing. Thank you so much for watching this first impressions video. If you enjoyed this, please leave a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and join the Discord server, because I am making more and more game reviews every Monday. I'm going through my entire Steam wishlist, which is an enormous task, but every week I'm doing one game, and it's either going to be a review or a first impressions. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time, and you need to relax.